we wanted Jeremias to come on and speak today because he really opened our mind with our channel on how to just get higher quality ideas, how to get them consistently, but then also, from his work with some of the like literally biggest YouTubers on the planet, he, just illustrated a really clear point that is kind of a truism across business, which is if something's working, do more of it. Do more of the thing that works, which is so simple and yet so easily overlooked when we think of ourselves in a creative endeavor. So that was a big learning moment for us on our channel, and definitely a trajectory changer. And so my hope is that at the very least, that lesson will get taken away and it can be a trajectory changer for everyone listening today. But without further ado, Jeremias, we'd love to have you kick things off and talk a little bit about your process and your thoughts on, creating great YouTube videos.
Absolutely awesome. Thank you for the great introduction. And again, so you guys all heard what he said, and that's all very much true. I spend pretty much like most of my time at the moment just really working with clients to help get them, viral ideas and things like that, as well as stuff like strategy. But for this obviously call, we'll be focusing mainly on how do you come up with those really, really viral bangers that, obviously can get a lot of views. And there's obviously a lot of stuff that we can do, but a lot of things also now, thanks to all these new tools and stuff like that, makes the process like 10 times easier. So like overall, I guess a big thing, as I'm sure most of you are already aware, is the whole principle with data. So that was the whole thing, like when I used to, maybe a few years ago, when I actually used to, study YouTube myself and things like that, I was going down more the route of like, okay, originality and like, okay, trying to come up with just like really reading books on that ideas and like stuff that go viral. And all those things are fun and good. And yes, you can come up with original stuff, but at this day and age, like almost everything is basically like, you can call it stolen. That's the marketing word for it, but more what they do is really, it's like you're taking inspiration off these type of things. But the number one principle that back traces everything is data, and I'm going to show you exactly how to come up with a viral, viral idea, topic, and then title, thumbnail, and the whole process. And then you will see time and time again how everything is really interweaved by data. And that was a huge thing that I really saw from like working with FoCrunch for the past like year. We started working when he was at like I think 900K, and he's just hit like 3 million subscribers now. And I left him last month, so that was an absolutely amazing thing. And definitely, like, it's like that thing that Paddy Galloway says. If you want to learn YouTube, like the best thing is just really to work for a YouTuber. And I 100% agree with that. I've learned so much off him and a lot of things that helped him get, multi millions of views every single day and month. So it's definitely all the same stuff I'm really excited to share with you guys today. But the first thing really is obviously trying to find a topic. So the biggest thing I would say, for example, is I know you guys are from when I last saw was kind of a business niche, kind of business channel. So, we can work off something like that, but essentially let's come up with like, say, a topic. And at the moment, I'll just show you exactly how I do it for all my class, as well as with some examples. So I'm just going to share my screen. Second. Okay, here we go. So let's go to, all right. You guys can all see it. Yeah, it's all good, right?
It's loading for me. I don't know if anyone else is. Yeah, now we see it.
Awesome. So I'll just show you my process using one of 10. This is at the moment, it's like $50 a month. It's kind of similar to the new thing Mr. Beast just released, but in my opinion, this is way better at the moment. At the moment, there's obviously some stuff that are different, but the biggest thing with Mr. Beast's new tool that he shared was like the whole process where you could like find similar thumbnails. And again, you'll see how that's, again, really important for thumbnails and stuff like that. But now 1 of 10 just added it. You could basically find similar thumbnails. So again, 1 of 10 is great. It's about $50 a month. It's a really cool tool. I would definitely encourage anyone to get it. But at the same time, realizing this, I would say maybe it's like maybe we don't have access to that. So very simply, you just need YouTube, as most people have been doing it for ages. And the biggest thing really is in the niche you're in. You want to obviously be finding those outliers. And the biggest thing at the moment I've learned is really like, I used to think it's just more about finding those like similar titles and doing it over and over again. So like a great example of this is FoCrunch, for example. So we go on FoCrunch's channel, basically. We can see like one of his most popular FIFA videos ever was basically, let me see. So he did a video where he essentially spent like $1,000. Here we go. So I spent $1,000 beating FIFA. There you go, 8.5 million views. And that whole video was essentially just, it seemed like a crazy FIFA video, but it was really just based off of this guy, exactly what this guy did. So it's just really the first instance to see, again, data. But like overall, when you're trying to come up with an idea at the moment, I'll share with you exactly what I do. Like I said, the first thing is obviously coming up with a topic, like what topic are we doing? And then obviously trying to see what angle we're going to be doing it of. So that's the first thing I was seeing. Overall, if we're trying to say come up with, let's go to this guy. So this was a guy I worked with for a few months, just coaching calls. I do like a retainer essentially with some of my clients where we just do like one call a week, and that essentially just coaches them up. So I took this guy from 0 to 17K, and he just sold his channel for like 10K a few months ago. And in total, this channel was able to make like around 30K. So overall, this channel is very interesting. So I'll show you exactly like what we did. So the first thing is really looking at your niche. That's the most important thing, because how YouTube, in a way, how the algorithm essentially works from learning stuff with also Paddy and stuff like that. It's essentially they look at it into pockets. So this is someone like inside of YouTube in the algorithm was very high up. So the elite of YouTube told Paddy full on that they do how the algorithm actually works. They actually look at pockets, right? So essentially they look at pockets of viewers, and then that's where they're going to suggest to. So this is a huge eye opener, and it's why niches are such an important role, because YouTube has all these different type of pockets. Like, okay, viewers like say Mr. Beast videos, viewers like say videos about cooking, viewers like videos about say Mike Tyson. So Mike Tyson is a pocket in the algorithm, right? So then they know essentially when they find this video and they find a bunch of viewers who enjoy these Mike Tyson videos, they have already a pocket there. Let's call it Mike Tyson pocket, so they can just instantly show it to those people. And that video can constantly grow. That's kind of like something. It's very crucial why you must have a niche. That's the overall basic niches over everything in a way. So once you have a niche, or you have some way to connect all your videos, this brings it to the second part, which is the whole point of YouTube is to get people to watch multiple videos in a row. That is the point. Like, it's about session time. So if you're able to get people to watch 5-10 videos, that's how you win. Like if you go on YouTube and you search your average views per viewer number in the last say 28 days, it means how many videos each viewer saw, unique viewer. So most people have something low, like under 5. You want to be striving for at least 10, something like that, depending obviously how much you're uploading. But that's like something really, really good, a number of like 10. So that's the first thing I would be. Yeah,
you're ripping. You're so fast. I just want to make sure we slow down and people really get what you were saying there. I don't mean. I'm sorry to slow you down, but I just want to make sure that it's heard by everyone in the group. So you're talking about the algorithm serving videos to pockets of audiences and how important that is for a niche. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
Just to say that again,
yeah, you're right.
Like, we are, not just exclusive to YouTube. On Instagram, on TikTok, you could be on rock climbing TikTok or parenting Instagram or kitchenware, YouTube, and you're going to be served a bunch of the content in that niche. It's actually highly likely that you could see all of the content in whatever niche you're interested in. Not literally 100%, but all of the top performing, all of the good stuff. And so that coherence around a channel allows for the binging that you're now talking about, where someone has already said, yes, I like this niche. I want to see the content in this arena, whatever my arena of interest is, show me it. And then you can provide that person with not just one video, but 7, but 10 is what leads to that skyrocketing growth.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you said it perfectly. And yeah, I do have to slow down. That's it's my fault. So essentially, yeah, it's about really pocketing, and that's the whole thing with niches. So the first thing you ever want to choose is obviously have a niche, like you guys kind of do from the channel I saw. But overall, once you have that, it makes everything way easier, because then you can kind of essentially come down to patterns. And this is the next thing. When I did a call, I think months ago, we talked a lot about data and just looking at, okay, channels in your niche, and just kind of picking ideas from that. Like if someone's doing the for example, like I know I saw something where like the dark history of Porsche, like you guys do something similar like with business stuff. So this channel is a good example, and basically there's a bunch of videos out there that is like the disturbing history of. So back then, a few months ago, I would overall just see, okay, a bunch of titles were doing the disturbing history of, but that's what I would do. But now I've actually learned that. So the big thing is actually just finding overall like patterns on YouTube and really looking at the universal things behind it. That's the really big part of it. So let's go to my viral video document. I'll easily share this with you. I use this for all my clients. Really top secret. But yeah, so the CIA won't want you seeing this, but point is, I'll share this with you now. So this is the exact process I actually use when coming up with ideas to making sure they're actually full on viral proof. I'll send this to everyone. I can send it to Aaron and then he'll probably send it to everyone. But essentially, so when we're coming up with an idea, the very first question, like this is the whole process of finding viral ideas. So the first thing is you're going to prove that there's actually demand. So usually what I would do is like just overall just go into a niche and find channels and like see what is the overall like a title pattern. But I don't really do that anymore. I just see like if I have an idea, for example, so like look, here we can see like, you know, back in the day I would see like, okay, so there's definitely an interest here where like boy created or boy created, and then I'd say, okay, there's like boy created, boy created. So like those are things that I would do. But now it's really understanding, okay, the overall theme. So it's not really about exactly, essentially just looking at keywords. It's looking at an idea and really understanding, okay, what is the overall theme here? And then coming up with an idea of that. So for example, for this one, we could very easily be looking at something like, let me see. So here we can obviously clearly see that there's an interest with like, okay, how like some sort of someone who's beating the odds did something like this, obviously with a poor boy. These videos are all very old, so let's come up with, say, something more new. If we search up, you know, or actually, so send your channel was, give me a second. Can you type in the exact names so I can spell it right?
It's just AARON WATSON.
W. Watson?
Yeah, but I'm not the country singer, so it's got to be the, I'm not, you got to, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, so awesome. That's amazing to see 120K views. Awesome. So this is actually interesting for you guys because, again, this is actually another guy I work with. He's one of the biggest faceless channels I've ever worked with. So it's this guy, Business Basics, and he actually does kind of, you know, your most recent video is kind of similar to him. And it's definitely crazy. So I definitely also learned a lot of him. So essentially, if we were doing like something like this, okay, like for example, we can kind of see like overall you're connecting videos together. And then if we were to see like, for example, something with like an idea with China, because that's doing pretty well for you. So overall, say if we wanted to do like something about like why China's, or let's say China's military, right? Imagine we have an idea like why China's economy is about to collapse. So maybe it's something like, let me see, what could be a potential idea? Why the UK will lose the 2030s, why collapse, will win. Let's see, we'll lose. Okay, so there's definitely an interest overall from what I'm seeing, like country will lose. So like the next thing you could do from that overall, like instead of always looking for it, is kind of just seeing, okay, firstly, it's coming up with what's the angle you're going to do. So imagine we were going to do a video of like why France's economy is about to collapse. So again, it's taking through this system, and this is exactly the thing that works. And it's kind of like, this is me really connecting all the works of FUDCrunch, Paddy Galloway, all these other strategists, and putting it into a document like this and seeing all the processes. So the first thing is obviously we'd be seeing, okay, finding proof that there is consistent demand recently and historically. So remember, everything's back to the data. You like, in my opinion, there is no reason now anymore. Like I would understand 5 years ago, but now it's like complete, there's no absolute reason to find that, you know, a video you want to do hasn't been, you know, some sort of proven data to show its work. Like it's 2024. There's like a video for everything. Like with one guy, a faceless channel, I was also working, like he was looking for a niche, and there's like stuff like bull riding now. There's stuff about like just weird sports. There's all these sort of things. So there's absolutely no way, if you have an idea, there will be proof that it works on YouTube essentially. So for France's economy, we can obviously see, like overall looking at this thing, it's like why France's economy is about to collapse. So we can obviously see overall is like economy collapse. To solve the first thing is, can we see that this topic overall, the economy collapsing, does that have interest? You can kind of say view count. What we're really looking for now is looking both just historically, right? So let's see. No, not a video like this. So here, this video 2 years ago, MIT has predicted that society will collapse. So remember, looking at the theme, this is the big thing that learning curve for me is how all these strategists are looking for is themes overall. What's the overlying theme? So for example, like in the past, I would just be looking for a title keyword that everyone's using, but no, it's really about looking at this. Okay, so here, this video got 2 years ago. It's a video talking about like society collapsing. That's kind of shows that there's some demand about society collapsing, stuff like this, right? Now, again, the collapse of the Soviet Union, again, something similar. So 2 videos, both have over 10 million views 2 years ago. Amazing, right? Again, here, this was 13 years ago, probably too old for my liking. I wouldn't go older than 6 years. Is Civilization, again, another collapse video. Again, here, look, this is a good example, collapse of Venezuela. So we're seeing historically, there seems to be interest. Again, look, economic reset 1 year ago. This is a podcast, but you need to just understand, viewers, like 5 million people, you can't even picture that in your head. 5 million people clicked on a video and watched this 1 hour, 55-minute long video talking about an economic reset, right? That's obviously showing that, talking about the economy and collapsing and all those different type of things has demand, okay? So what we need to be seeing, though, is historically, so 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but also recently, okay? Most people from strategists, experts can say 3 months, then you have other people saying 6 months. Overall, I just like, if you can see that there's demand even 3 months ago, that's excellent. But again, don't worry, if you're finding still demand in the last 6 months, that's still excellent in my opinion. Look, the worst economic collapse in history, 4 years ago, boom, still has interest. China's economy will collapse in 34 days, again. So as you can see, we're clearly seeing clear signs. All these titles are different, but think of the theme, okay? The theme is about talking about, stuff collapsing, that there has a lot of, again, Roman Empire, all these different type of videos, right? So all these different type of things, look, it's working really, really well. Again, Great Depression. It's not saying economy, but everyone knows that Great Depression is referring to an economy, right? So all these different type of signs is a really good signs. So that's kind of the first thing, right? Of the economy collapsing, we've solved that. That has interest on YouTube, as we're kind of seeing. The overdue collapse, again, 3 months ago, that did well. Can we find any instance if maybe China's collapse, 2 million views 8 months ago, very, very well. And as we can see overall, you can kind of see that this definitely has interest, right? The other big thing I would tell you is to download one of 10's Chrome extension. And then I don't know why it's not showing up for me now, but essentially what you will then see is that it actually gives you like a score. And essentially what you're looking for is anything above 3x. And all these videos most likely have above 3x. So that's very, very good, okay? So it's an outlier. That's pretty much what you're looking for. Okay, so we know we've seen.
Jeremiah, I have a question. If we're straying away from like the business concepts and going more broad, like what's the general strategy, big picture for how to start researching your niche or understand what's performing well in the videos that you want to produce?
Yeah, so obviously it just depends on how broadening. Again, most people who broaden out always will kind of, slowly broaden out. And it's, again, you're doing stuff more similar. So I wouldn't say, you can't go exactly from Minecraft to challenges. It just takes a very long time. So Mr. Beast, for example, started Minecraft 10 years ago and now he's into doing it in real life. So that's like a long-term phase. But it's
so we're not saying for our channel. We're not saying for our channel. We're saying for the other members of this call. So we've got folks that focus on rock climbing. We've got folks focused on kitchen appliances. We've got folks in the natural gas space. We've got folks focused on small business. So more just like these universal principles. I'd really love to just come back to the Viral Idea System doc, and maybe we can go through those steps, just kind of speaking to it broadly. And then if you want to go back to that example of coming up with the ideas for the Mike Tyson channel, that was also really edifying the last time we talked. Maybe we could just run through that again.
Yeah, no, for sure. So overall, I'm obviously talking about you guys' channel, but overall, this is a system that can be placed on anything. So pretty much, just no matter what niche you're in, it's just you want to be looking at channels and then sorting. Again, it's just like a habit now. You can call it a Tourette's or something. But every time now I go on a channel and I've seen this on other people, it's just like you instantly just sort by most popular. And that's like really like just a habit that I would just tell you to always do. So it's really just about going on niches. Whatever niche you're in, rock climbing, space, whatever it is, it does not matter. Maybe pumpkin growing, whatever it is. You find channels in your niche, and then you start looking for essentially video buckets, okay? So or themes even, just themes that are working well. Like I can do this with anything. So okay, Mike Tyson, let's do this very, very simply, exactly showing the case study, exactly what we did step by step. I worked on every single video. I'll be straight up with you. Yeah, not all the videos like exploded, as you can see. A lot of them did not do too well. But I'll tell you, like, these videos, like, the guy spent like 2K on it and it's made like 30K. So it's definitely a very good investment. You will never see like that in the stock market. So essentially for this, it's the exact same thing. What we did is we searched the boxing niche. We searched a bunch of channels. We just saw stuff that were going well. So we just essentially took like 50 boxing channels. I know it's a lot, but that's like how much data we did. We took about 2 to 3 months of just preparing. No videos made. 2 to 3 months of preparing. Here's what we did. So there you go. We made a huge document. This is before 1 of 10 was even like created. So, you know, that's why we never even had 1 of 10. So again, this is a free guide to do it. Is you find a bunch of boxing channels, make a huge list like we did here. And then you have to do the very unfortunate but long task of going on each single channel and just taking their most viral videos from, say, the past 2 years and adding it to a spreadsheet like this, okay? Once you do that, then essentially what you want to do is you want to start looking for overall themes, okay? And then you can create your first video bucket. So let's do this together. So, okay, knockouts that shock the boxing world. 10 heavyweight knockouts that shock the boxing world. Okay, knockouts. I'm seeing a lot of knockouts. So what I'll do very quickly is on Google search. So let me see if my hypothesis is right. And knockouts. Okay, so knockouts. Okay, 15 of the most beautiful knockouts of young Mike Tyson. 25 heavyweight knockouts. Look at this. All these videos are all viral because remember, we only added the viral videos. And as you can see, this whole document is for you to be able to see patterns. So you can do this on any niche. If you're doing space, find a bunch of space channels, take all their most viral videos and start looking for themes. So overall themes that you're doing. All right. So again, we can see there's a lot of videos here with knockouts, all these different times with knockouts. So then we instantly knew like one of our first buckets was obviously going to be knockouts. So we just wanted to get maybe a bit more specific. We also saw that this did very well. So knockouts that shocked. Knockouts that shocked. So, you know, that was a potential thing. Another thing we also saw very easily was actually like videos just about Mike Tyson. And typically the titles, how they're structured is they'd have him in the first kind of word. So let me see. So we essentially went on that spreadsheet. And we started taking a real nice pattern of finding these videos with, give me a second. So look, we started seeing all these different videos with like, let me sort this by A to Z. And we really started seeing all these videos where like Mike Tyson, just look, Mike Tyson versus Mike Tyson versus Mike Tyson versus. So as we can see, there's a huge interest here talking about like Mike Tyson versus whatever, okay? So this is the first thing we knew, okay, that's an instant video bucket. We're going to do Mike Tyson versus and then whatever. So again, this is a topic based on data. So it really, look, it takes the first one, right? So let me see, here we go. So proof that there is demand. Yes, there is demand consistently and also historically. There's videos from years ago and also recently. Then what you want to do essentially is you take this one step further and understand why those videos did well and use those reasons to go viral. So this is something I didn't mention last time, but something I've learned really recently. I was a big theory of also mine, like, okay, we need to like, it's not like you can just take any viral idea and put it into a different niche, right? It needs to be specific. So we need to understand why these videos are going viral. So if we go back to here, we can obviously take real nice notice. Okay, so let's see. So we really, it's a long process, but this is how you come up with viral ideas. So let's see. Mike Tyson versus legendary fighters. If we see this overall theme, this bucket kind of Mike Tyson versus, like, what are reasons this would go viral? Okay, we can see that the thumbnails are like we kind of crazy fighters. Like this is a big dude. This is, again, look, here is like a cool looking dude. Look at this guy, cool looking dude. So look, again, huge fighter that looks very big, right? So that's a potential thing we can say. Okay, thumbnail, this is a reason why it went viral. The thumbnails are very appealing, right? And they often have a big fighter, okay? So that was one of the things. Then the other thing is we saw legendary fighters, and look, it's like they're fighting all these different type of interesting people, right? So we have crazy fighter, we have monster, we have legendary fighters, all these different type of fighters, right? Look, champions, Buster Douglas, look, British monster, ruined Monster's career, Mike Tyson's most brutal knockout, okay? So overall, we can see that there's actually like stuff with when it's fighting different type of fighters, whether it's a legendary one or a monster or whatever. So we kind of saw, okay, these videos are going viral because they're talking about really interesting fights, right? So again, then once you understand why, you need to make sure you can add those reasons. So can we make a thumbnail like that? Yeah, we can. Can we essentially, a big reason why this goes viral is because it has an interesting fighter. So can we do that? We had to come up with one. We then searched again, did more research, because again, all of it is backed by data. We only made decisions based off it had been proven to work on YouTube. And we can instantly see that on YouTube, there's a massive interest with cocky fighters, right? So I don't even have to show, but look at this. So just a quick search and you see how many cocky fighter videos there is. There's like so many. And these videos all do really well. So instantly we knew that cocky fighters is a popular topic. So once we did that, essentially, we show that there's demand. We understand why, and we can use those reasons, right? Now it goes very back to, is this simple enough to describe in one sentence? Yeah, we're doing Mike Tyson versus cocky fighters, okay? So very simple. It needs to pass that test. This is, again, in Derral Eves' YouTube formula book. Again, like I said, this is not my work. It's connecting everyone's work together, all the geniuses of YouTube. I've put all this together, and this is from everyone's mind, okay? Because I'm not an expert at this. I'm just learning what other people are doing. Derral Eves, so, huge strategist, and I guess you can call him YouTube guru. He's worked with Mr. Beast, and he said that Mr. Beast will never make a YouTube video idea if he can't describe it in one sentence. So very simply, that tells you if that guy, he's the biggest now in the world, so you should probably follow that. And again, so yes, it does pass this test. Now, is this video the best? Is this idea the best variation of it? This is something not a lot of people talk about. And again, it's not like a must. It's just, this is a document to create like really viral ideas. So is this like the idea, the best variation of it? I would say so, because we're not like doing versus like maybe Mike Tyson versus maybe a cocky man or something, or cocky fire. Let me see, like what would be a bad variation of it? It could be like Mike Tyson versus five cocky fighters. Like, it's pretty much a really, really good version of it, and that's something you also want to strive for. It's the same thing with like the economy, right? So the economy video of China, for example, it's like China's economy will crash in 2030, for example. Like, that's a good version of it. A worse version could be like, will China's economy crash, or something like that. Or just something that doesn't show the absolute most. And that's why superlatives work really well. You honestly, none of you want to watch a video about like, I bought a mystery box. You care if it's the world's most expensive, if it's the world's biggest, right? So that's the best version of it. It's something you typically want to strive for. Now, so I would say it's a definitely good version of it. Second thing is, again, Leroy's system. So this is another strategist on YouTube. Again, like I said,
let me ask one question before we get to Leroy's system. So, with these ideas, the missing piece that's kind of related to a question in the chat here is feasibility, right? So if we're collecting Mike Tyson footage and repackaging it in a novel way, that's understood how that can kind of be done for a faceless channel. A question from one of our channels in the climbing space, she says a lot of the viral videos have to do with really skilled climbers, and they're doing the hardest or the strongest or the tallest climb. How would you look for inspiration from those ideas that play on those viral concepts, but you don't necessarily have access to the world's strongest and best climber? So like we can get the model, but then the feasibility of actually making it a reality, like how do you do more with less, or how do you attack a problem like that?
Awesome. Yeah, really, really good question. So we can for sure get into that. What's her channel? Is she able to say it?
Court Climbs. I don't know if Hannah, you can quickly drop a link in there. I can try to do it.
Like Court Climbs, like this?
Yep, that's it.
All right, awesome. So let me see. Yeah, this is again another faceless channel I wanted to look at helping. So essentially, yeah, rock climbing is definitely an interesting niche. It's definitely been doing well. At least the faceless rock climbing and stuff like that I saw. So let's see, like for example, Red River George Climbing Guide. Okay, so overall, let me see. So for rock climbing, it's again, I would overall just be looking at, okay, let's see other channels. Are there other channels doing this? And I would like very instantly just see, okay. Trying again, it's kind of like a funnel. So you start off by finding something that has demand, and then we'll see, like, because again, not all ideas I understand can be done because of the feasibility, right? So I'd first off just look at in the niche. Is there any ideas that potentially could be done with something like that? And then from that, if not, what most people do, like even one guy on Twitter who's helped people get a lot of views, like he says he actually never takes ideas from the niche, and he just always takes an idea from another niche. So it's definitely interesting. So that's kind of what I would say about that. But okay, if we can't really find anything as we can kind of see, I mean, maybe something here. Yeah, so what I would be seeing then is kind of looking, okay, for something similar. So like something that could be similar to rock climbing. Could be, let me see, it could be like, let me see, I could search up like 1 of 10 for inspiration. Legendary climber. No, like what is a similar sport to climbing? Let me see. Yeah, so I will admit it is definitely hard, but so then what I would look at is, okay, the just overall universal theme of it. Why are people watching these videos? It's like people want to see these people do these hard climbs. So is there anything else on YouTube that could be done, like, seeing these people do these potentially hard things? Like it really also depends like on what you're doing rock climbing of, because obviously there's different stuff like you could be doing. Like one thing I know some people do, for example, is like they just do these nice videos and like they're just showing their experience, right? So it could be like, for example, fishing is a big thing also, and these people are kind of just going on and vlogging what they're doing. So one thing you could obviously do is taking and saying some, like, for example, let me show you this. This is a good way. So this is another one of my past clients, and he does lawn mowing videos. And essentially with him, it's really like unorganized titles, as you can see, but they still do very well. But so essentially, it's like, as you can see, it's more like story-based videos, and that's one way, because again, with the rock climbing of the channel I saw, it's obviously pretty hard to really understand what the overall grasp is. Like, you can see boxing zone, okay, it's boxing. We go foregrounds, it's football. But I don't know, obviously, like what essentially rock climbing. So it could be like maybe you're showing your maybe your training and stuff like this. So, or it could also be stuff like this, right? Where it's like, look, because a lot of videos overall on YouTube is when you find shocking stuff. So it could literally just follow on be, maybe if you found something, it could be found something crazy while rock climbing, and then an hour like this. Like there's different things. It's just really about looking at niches and finding stuff like that. It could also be like, let me see, if I say training for, let me see, training for maybe marathon, something like that. We can maybe see like, okay, overall stuff like that. You could also take an approach of maybe potentially looking at SEO starting off. But it is hard. Like I would probably have to put a bit more time into this. But
one of my quick thoughts, Courtney, just I also take inspiration from some faceless channels, even though my channel isn't faceless, and it's commenting like your perspective on the hardest climb. So what a average climber can learn from the hardest, so-and-so scaling the hardest thing. And maybe you have to borrow a little footage, or maybe there's some assumed context that people would understand that. But, given the fact that you really inject your commentary and your voice and your energy into each of the videos that you're producing, it gives it that distinct Court Climbs energy and fun. Your perspective on that, because I'm sure there's other people that aren't necessarily trying to literally climb the scariest, most intense, crazy face, but can still learn from it, or get inspiration from it, or take other things away from it. That'd be one of my big thoughts.
Yeah, and really, I would say like also just understanding what's the value proposition, like what are you offering them. It's very hard. I'll just say this overall, like kind of just a few ideas, but then I would say move on, because then I'll be focusing too much on rock climbing and not be able to help anyone else. But like overall, like for example, here, I run a marathon in Crocs. A quick YouTube search will show you that videos with Crocs has a huge interest. So, if you were doing challenges, you could instantly do something like, I rock climbed a mountain, or I rock climbed, I don't know what it's called, but some rocky wall or something like that in Crocs, right? So something like that could work, you know what I mean? If you were doing like education content, look, you can see something like this. Find other videos in similar niches, because I'll be honest with you, rock climbing, you're probably not going to find anything. So it has to be similar niches. Think of stuff that are similar. It's not like Formula One racing or football. It's hard, right? Because they're playing in a team sport. Rock climbing is more like kind of solo. So what other solo stuff are there? It could be fishing. It could be maybe stuff with like running. That's kind of like something similar. So look, how to run longer without getting so tired. You can maybe do how to rock climb for longer without getting so tired. Or like, for example, again, here's an idea, for example. This is something that could be more broad. What happens to your body when you run 30 minutes? Like, what happens to your body if you rock climb for 30 minutes a day? That's like, again, another potential idea. And I'll tell you, these videos of like doing something, what happens to this if you do this for 30 days, again, actually work pretty well. Look, again, here, it's like running a marathon with no training. That could be potentially something I'd be looking at. Is there other instances where people are doing some sort of thing without any training? And you could potentially do like rock climbing with no training or something like that. It really just depends. It's hard to get into it, but you need to understand, you need to know what's the value you're providing. Are you educating them? Are you giving them entertainment? Two very different things. And if you're doing entertainment, stuff like that, again, it could be doing stuff like I rock climb on the hottest place on earth. And again, feasibility is hard to do those things. So what I would tell you is that you could start off educating people, and then you build up an audience from that. And then that's actually much easier because you don't need to do the world's craziest things. You build an audience with that, and then you can actually, that's a way to broaden out and then start doing these challenges. Essentially, that's kind of what I would really tell you to do, because it's probably the best bet. Because again, remember, everything starts with niching down and then broadening out. That's basically every single company. Apple started off by selling PC, then it was something like music players, iPods. Now they do everything, right? Amazon started off by selling books. Now they do everything. So start off by educating people, because that's pretty easy to do. You can just be rock climbing, pretty simple stuff, and just showing, and just choosing ideas that have demand. Like again, search up something and sort by most viral last year. Remember, try to find if it has demand, and then try to understand why those videos did well, and see if you can do that, essentially. So again, that's what I would kind of say about that. Hopefully that makes sense. And
she said thank you in the chat.
Awesome, absolutely, love the question, and really, really good. But overall, it's really like this is the process. I really hope like anyone has any question or arguments, love to debate it. But this is how to find ideas in any niche. It's you find something with demand, then you need to understand why it went viral. This is something I always skip, and it just adds more credibility to the idea. A massive thing is, what I would love everyone to try to think in their head is, again, I learned this from someone else, is think of yourself as a lawyer, and that's how you kind of want to actually, when you're coming up with ideas, like, okay, what you're defending, so is not someone a murderer, you're defending your video idea, okay? And you need to really show evidence that your video's idea viral. Once you get that mindset, you will actually start coming up with way better ideas, because you want to just basically create these like documents and arguments against, say, the trial or jury to really prove it's viral. Because look, if we came up with just a random idea and we don't show, like, we can't just tell the jury that, oh yeah, because I think it's a good idea, because it worked on my channel, that's it. No, if we full on told the jury that, look, there is demand for this historically and recently. So use the probability concept, right? Just by probability alone, if something's working recently and historically, there's more likely than not it's going to work now, right? So then understand why. So again, you want to show the jury, look, jury, there's demand for this, and I've also understood why, and I'm going to use those concepts why, okay? And look, jury, again, a big thing of going viral is videos need to be simple. So, and it is simple, right? And again, it's the best variation of it. So like another point for it going viral. Well, now let's go to Leroy system. So this is, again, something like a pretty simple, I paid this guy for, and very, very good. Again, it's kind of a video idea decision tree. So again, it's pretty much talking about what I've just been saying, but something I also like doing. So, has a variation of your idea been done in other niches? Yes. Was it an outlier or close to an outlier? Yes. Are these outlier recent, last 3 months? And in another tweet, he also said 6 months. So I'd go 3 to 6 months. Yes. Are you adding a unique twist to the existing one or update with new information? Yes. This is a big one now. So I would really tell everyone to look at this. So again, this is really good for the rock climber, is you choose ideas that, okay, would it excite your core fans, and would it also excite your casual viewers? So this is something a lot of people forget, and maybe they're only exciting their core viewers, or maybe they're only appealing to a broad audience, but you need to overall be appealing your core fans, your casual, and then also new viewers. So those are 3 you always want to go. And if all those things tick, you can essentially make the video. That's really, that's the bulk of the idea process, okay? That's really we have now a really good viral topic, right? So Then what you want to do is the next thing, which is another thing I picked up from a guy who's gotten like, I think over 100 billion views on YouTube. So it excites people when you share it. This is a quick test I always like doing. So the video idea you have, like, is it essentially shareable in the sense that, like, if you told someone about it, is it something cool? Like, for example, everyone can understand why a video like, you know, I hiked a beach, right? So a video like this is like, okay, like if you just told someone, oh yeah, did you see that video where Jeremiah's hiked the beach? It's like that, like, that doesn't really seem exciting. But no, if I said, oh, did you see that video where Jeremiah's hiked the world's deadliest or the world's most dangerous beach? Like, that gets someone excited, right? So does it actually excite you when it shares it? Like, again, if we did a rock climbing video and like, I rock climbed with Crocs. Like, if everyone asked their friend, oh, did you see that video where, you know, whatever her name was, let's go with Sophia. Did you see that video where Sophia rock climbed with Crocs? Like, that's pretty shareable, pretty cool. If she did like another one, like, I'll tell you this really good idea. If barefoot videos go viral really well, so you could do again something. Oh, did you see that video where she barefoot, where she rock climbed barefoot or something like that? So it needs to pass this test for those really viral ideas. If you ask yourself, FuckCrunch, Mr. Beast, all these viral people, all of them will have these ideas that can excite people. That's the other thing I would tell you. Then step 8 is one thing I also didn't do is I always just used to come up with one idea, but now I'm always at least have to come up with 2 viral ideas. So let's get into that very simply. You've seen how everything pretty much is about data. Thumbnails are the exact same. So let's see what essentially I did for that guy Boxing Zone. So overall, we had the idea of Mike Tyson versus cocky fighters, right? So then what we wanted to do is we essentially went on YouTube and looked at overall the video bucket we were doing, so Mike Tyson, and then we saw what were the type of videos that people like, what did the thumbnails look like. And remember, from step 2, we need to understand why it went viral. A big reason why these videos went viral was because it has 2 fighters and kind of 2 interesting fighters in the thumbnail at least, and it usually shows something like, you know, something. The fighter was definitely interesting to see, right? It was a big fighter that catches your eye. So we needed to do something like that. And if you see here, for example, let me see if I can move this. So if you see here, for example, like this guy, that's pretty interesting, right? So we've locked in, we're doing it. One of the reasons why that video went viral. But overall, what we needed to see is the actual, what's the data saying? Like, what are patterns? Everything goes back to patterns overall. So we saw a huge pattern with the Mike Tyson versus video bucket was thumbnails were typically with Mike Tyson always on the side. Let me show you this. So Mike Tyson versus, where is it? Okay, here. So let's see this, if I can move this and then this. Okay, here. So let's see. So check this out. All these videos with Mike Tyson, it has like him at the side, him at the side, him at the side. Look, him at the side, him at the side, him at the side. You see, so that's a pattern we saw, and we had to do that because the data says, look, we're again back to the lawyer argument. Use this, it's really smart. So tell the jury, look, we have one viral thumbnail that we can do because, and it's based on data. All these people are putting Mike Tyson at the side. So if we do that, that basically means probability again. If all those videos went viral with him at the side, why wouldn't ours, right? The other thing we also did is pretty much we took the exact same video. Look at this thumbnail here, 400,000 views. Look at that Mike Tyson, okay? Then look at our video that we did, and we pretty much did the exact. Give me a second. We did pretty much the exact same thumbnail. Look at this Mike Tyson here on the left, and it's the exact same one here. Look at the referee. It's like a Mexican dude. Same one here. And look, all we changed was on the right, a cocky fighter based on data. So to the jury. Look, jury, this video is going to go viral because, I mean, we're taking a Mike Tyson image that already went viral for that other channel. We're doing it based in the way that was at the side because that, again, worked. So probability factor, right? Then, okay, jury, look, this fighter, like, look how cool he is. That's going to go viral. Okay, well, the jury's going to argue with me. Yeah, well, like, can you actually show us? Yeah, we can because, you know what we did again? We took that fighter from another viral guy. So let me see this. So my cocky fighter, let me see. We essentially, here's what we did. We basically searched cocky fighter. We sorted it by most popular. And we started going down the list, and then could we find anything? We saw this interesting channel. So again, we went on their most popular videos, and when looking for a thumbnail, just find a viral one and just do the exact same thing. Let's keep going down. Can we see anything? Is there anything we could see here? Oh, wow. Wow. Look at this. Oh, do you see that guy? He looks familiar, right? So again, the only reason we ever chose that guy on the thumbnail was because we saw he got 5 million views here. So back to the jury. Look, jury, this fighter even got 5 million views. So it's proof that he's good on thumbnails. So we added it, and there you go. And that video now has obviously 1 million views. It's made like 6K for that guy. Amazing. So really, really good example. That's the thumbnail side of it. And basically, you just want to do that process, and then can we come up with another one? So ideally, you want to find 2 viral thumbnails at least, and then making sure that they're all based on data. Everything is based on data. If you see Mr. Beast, that tool he shared is basically said the tools that he's been using actually for the past few years, right? So that tells you then he has a tool essentially where he tries to find thumbnails and similar ones. So what does that essentially tell you? It tells you that he, more than likely, 90% in my opinion, always does thumbnails that have been proven to work, like thumbnail styles. So essentially, if he finds like a bunch of videos, a bunch of video titles, a bunch of video thumbnails work with like a face at the side, he's going to do that because the data says that. So it's a very, very good example to see that. Then one of the last things is actually, can we create a simple title? And pretty much we did. Mike Tyson versus Cocky Fighter. This fight is unforgettable. Pretty simple. There's no too much fluff words. This fight is unforgettable. If you see here, it's you could call it fluff, but we pretty much just did that because other titles were using that, so we did it. Why not? And then the last step is we have now pretty much a viral idea, but remember that back to something I was saying yesterday. So ideation without execution is deletion of every good idea. So if you fail to execute your idea, it's just an idea, right? So then you need to actually be able to make it. So that's the last step that most people, again, a lot of people skip up. You have this amazing idea. You have this amazing thumbnail. You have an amazing title, amazing concept. But if you cannot make an engaging video out of it, then it has to be scrapped. So it has to tick all these boxes. And then pretty much from what we saw from Mike Tyson, there's so many videos of him doing cocky fighters and all these different type of things. So we definitely were able to do it. We did that. And pretty much that video then went viral for us and did very, very, well. And that process we did for all the other channels. And I can show you again. Let's do this process so I gave this idea to FuckRunch, and it got him, I think, around 25 I think it was 25 million views. So this is by far one of my most viewed ideas that I gave him. And let's see exactly how we did it. So look, one goal, get $100, right? So this was the idea I came up with. I also came up with the thumbnail pretty much. And if you see here, okay, 25 million views, let's break it down. So the first thing is obviously trying to come up with that bucket. So we have to find a bucket that has demand. And again, there's not actually one goal equals up. It's not really a bucket overall. But there's a huge demand for when you're doing every time you do this, you get X, right? So remember, it's overall looking at a theme. You don't have to use the exact same title. So in gaming itself, you can see that there's this, okay? So in FIFA, there's actually an outlier format of every time I score, look, every time I score, every time I score, every goal I score, every goal I score. So just think of the theme. What's the idea here? It's about that every time you do this, this happens, okay? So we have this in FIFA, right? Can we find it anywhere else? Let's see. Every kill. Can we find this somewhere else? Again, look at this. Every kill, my girlfriend removes one piece of clothing. One kill, controller gets more cursed. Fortnite, but every kill, worse keyboard. Think of the theme here. Well, what is it? It's about every time you do this, this happens, right? So we're seeing now this bucket perform well in 2 niches: Fortnite and FIFA. Can we see this anywhere else? Essentially, we can see this also in other niches. We're getting examples here, but also Mr. Beast Gaming, where he does 1 kill equals. Look, he did this video of second. So $1,000 for every kill. Look, so every kill you get, every time you do this, you get this, right? So again, that's another big credit to this. So, and if you do the more research, I won't waste your time, guys, on it. But essentially, yes, on YouTube, there's a huge interest where every time you do this, this happens. So that's a bucket that we have demand for, right? Because there's huge views on it. That's what tells you the demand. Everything goes back to supply and demand, which is what a lot of faceless channels talk about. It's the same exact thing on YouTube. So here we go. One goal equals get $100. This falls in the exact same thing. Every time he does this, he gets this, okay? So we've solved the demand part. Then the other thing you have to do is obviously understand why that video went viral, why those videos go viral. It's fun because it kind of like the video keeps progressing and stuff like that. And it's engaging in all these different type of factors, which again, he added. Then again, is it simple enough to describe in a sentence? Yes, every time I score, I get $100. Simple. Is this idea the best variation of it? Yeah, I would definitely say so. Because it's not like it could be one free kick or one tackle, one penalty. It's the best version. A goal is the best possible version of it, right? As humans, we always want the best. We're greedy creatures, right? So again, now it didn't really pass Leroy's system, I don't think. But there's something it's like for perfection, right? So it excites people when you share it. Yeah, did you see that? Like, let's test it. Did you see that video where like Footprints gave someone like $100 every time they scored? Like, that's pretty shareable, right? So it's not just like, oh, did you see that video where Footprints played a football match? That sounds boring, right? So the other one didn't. So can they come up with at least 2 viral thumbnails? Yes, they can. If we ever do another call, I can definitely show you exactly how we come up with that thumbnail, but I think it would take too long now. Can we create a simple title? Yeah, one goal equals $100. How simple is that? And can we actually make an engaging video out of it? Yes, they could, because they can do lots of challenges. They also included 2 people, so it makes it more engaging. So as you can see, it's the exact same ball game here, right? So again, it's same with the business needs. If we were looking at space, again, I'd be doing the exact same thing. I'd be looking at demand, and I know one thing is Xenogenesis shocked the world. 10 amazing space discoveries that shocked the world. Okay, this, like, when we see something, again, I'd probably try to find something recent. Let's say this month. Okay. NASA's terrifying new discovery shocks the world. Again, like, you can take this system pretty much in anything and it works. Okay, so again, remember that habit I was talking to you about. Everything served by most popular. Okay, this from the sky, but no one knows what it is. Cave under Euphrates River has just been sealed. Okay, they found it in Antarctica what no one was supposed to see. A man saw smoke coming out of a cave and he went inside and shocks the world. So again, like, back to what Aaron was saying about taking a viral idea from a faceless and applying it to rock climbing. Yeah, that could work, but remember, so the big thing that will help you with coming up with ideas and deleting the bad ones is, remember the understanding why it went viral. So this video, like, why did this go viral, right? It's really talking about like a story of someone like who did it. So we couldn't maybe necessarily do like a video of like, oh, I saw smoke coming out of a cave and then went inside or something like that. We could do something like that, where we maybe try to really understand why this went viral and applying those reasons to us, right? So stuff like this. NASA's terrifying new discovery shocks all religious people. The end comes to Dubai. Tourist captures what no one was supposed to see. What they discovered. So there's a lot of things with discovery. I would then try to find, okay, let me see. So what they discovered. I would then see, is there actually demand for that? Again, sort everything by most popular, find demand, and then you want to find a gap in the market. That's just YouTube, essentially. Okay, so I discovered from the archives, Titanic shipwreck discovery. What we discovered buried shocked the whole world. I discovered, no, Sodom discovered by archaeologists. Israel makes shocking discovery. Little girl kept sharp. No, a desert enigma revealed. I discovered. Okay, 5 incredible things we've already discovered. So we can see discovered has definitely demand. And then maybe we could see like maybe doing a discovery about like maybe like Mount Everest, right? And then what we would see, again, remember, 2024, if a video is worthy of going viral, it's going to show that there's interest on it. So sort by most popular. Say sort by this year. Go by 4 by 20. If I see a short that goes viral, I don't really care at the moment. So we powered a mountain. Show some interest behind mountain. Why some Sherpas say that there won't be any guides on Everest. potentially some interest with Everest. Look at this video. Daily life of living under the Mount Everest. 3 million people showed interest in Mount Everest, right? So this again, a helicopter flight to Mount Everest. So think of this idea. Why did this go viral? Is it because it's a helicopter flight, or is it because it has to do with Mount Everest? Mount Everest. It's the same with this one. This video went viral because it's about Mount Everest. So as you can see, just in the last year alone, oh wow, so this is funny. This is not planned, but look, someone did it. So you can really see how the idea process works. Someone did it, and boom, 2.9 million views. So as you can see, like this, I went into a random niche. In 5 minutes, I already found a potential idea. So this is why to show you, it works in any niche, okay? So it's really just about seeing, like, again, we can see Mount Everest has definitely interest. So then you can turn that into an idea, something like that. And that's overall, like the main gist of really finding viral ideas. Obviously, if I ever come back, I can show you like how I use 1 of 10. I just didn't want to show it because maybe not everyone has it. But this, I will tell you, it's a game changer, really, because instead of doing the whole thing you have to do about Boxing Zone, where you have to essentially go onto every single boxing channel and sort by most popular, you can pretty much just search here and find every list. Like, look, for my clients I work with, I just have bookmarks, and boom, I found like I find already bucket. So, for example, asking like here's a bucket that anyone could do. There we go. Asking like people where they ask questions on street interviews has massive art. Look at all these videos. Every single video here is an outlier. 42 videos. So remember, use probability. 42 times this went viral, and these are all really mostly in the past year. So that's like a huge win. So a bucket for potentially rock climbing, I don't know, could be like asking rock climbers how much they make or something like that. You know, that could be something like that. One of those broad ideas. So it's really about like, this is why 1 of 10 is a complete game changer. And it's again, and if you go down the list, like for another client I have, if we wanted to do like let's see, trying a business, I tested 1 star. For example, a faceless channel, I was doing with like a sports. We saw actually there was a lot of interest with like craziest moments. So look at this. 39 videos showing that craziest moments has an interest. So that's why 1 of 10 saves you so much, because instead of in the past I would have to manually search on YouTube, I can pretty much just sort by like similar and find other craziest, you know what I mean? So that's why 1 of 10 is a complete game changer. Next level is, you know, again, it's pretty good for showing you, it's pretty good for showing you channels. But what I'll tell you, the main thing I use it for is, especially when you're finding niches and you want to know what's the good one, is I mostly just use the RPM predictor. So rock climbing, for example, could give you maybe a decent one. This is like the minimum I would say it gives you. So look, $3, extreme sports, rock climbing, $3. So, but think of also realistically, it hasn't taken in part, like maybe if you make your video 20 minutes long, that could be $5. You're also probably targeting an older audience. So again, I'd say it's $5. In Q4, in a few months, if you set up videos now, you probably will get a $5 to $6 RPM in my opinion, because RPM goes crazy at that time. So that's what I would say I wouldn't buy Next Level in my opinion. It's a great thing, but I'd say overall, if you don't know what to do, yeah, I think the course and stuff like that are great. But I definitely like the RPM predictor. Now, the other big thing I also use is the thing from vidIQ. This is, again, it's decent. It's another thing you can find for finding outliers. Views. You can pretty much sort by country. And you can also sort by, say, ideas that are working on, say, you. So remember, that rock climber we saw, it's obviously a pretty small channel. So let's try to find ideas 10 to 100K. People who don't have too much market power. Rock climbing. Again, you can use pretty much any niche. Again, let's not go to short form. Let's go to long form. And let's see. Okay, this looks like an ad, so we're going to skip that. This is not rock climbing. Climbing stuff. Rock climb. Look, so back to what Aaron was saying. Rock climber reacts to PewDiePie climbing. So again, 100K views. This did definitely obviously decent for him. This is a channel you could potentially model off and then tell you straight off the bat. There's obviously a clear video bucket on YouTube where it's like a professional in something reacts to this. There's like Doctor reacts to. lawyer reacts to. So that's again a thing that potentially works. Again, rock climbing world champion dominates. Ninja warrior, again, these videos are getting less and less views, but it definitely shows you that there is obviously interest in those type of things and stuff like that. So it's definitely another great one. You could also do stuff like China. You were doing your niche. You could also potentially even like Mike Tyson, pretty much. Look, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. So again, look at that Mike Tyson versus thing is working again. So you can definitely find more ideas here and over and all over again, as you can kind of see. But like overall, I know give me a second. So I know the call time has ended, but if anyone has any questions, I can be sure to stay on for like 10, 15 minutes. But overall, that's like the main gist of it. Coming up with viral bangers. I obviously did stuff a lot faster. Realistically, this is a process that takes a lot of hours for one idea. And then even then, what most of these guys are actually doing is once they have this process done for all these ideas, like say 10, 20, then they still actually narrow down them even more. So this is why ideation is actually a huge, it's something that takes very long. But what I would really say is overall focus on consistency, especially until you're at like 1 million subscribers and until you can get say like millions of views consistently every single month. I would still overall just go for consistency and trying to upload as much as possible, because as long as you're just constantly trying to make better ideas, you'll naturally get better at it. But that's overall it. So people don't click off. I'll be careful with my wording. The video isn't ended. We're still gonna do some other stuff. So yeah.
I just want to hit on one more thing that we took away from our first call that I know you covered today, but it's another one of those things. It's so simple. It applies to so many things in business, and yet our minds allow us to lose it, which is continue to do the thing that works, right? This thumbnail combo, this title combo is working for someone else. It's working for us. Like remix it, but do the same thing again. John Shanahan talked about that in a previous call. Like that's okay. And there's still a lot of creativity to be had within that constraint.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really like everyone has been doing this, and I know again, you don't want to be like this guy. Like I'm not like when people saying, you need to also understand it's not like what we're saying about just taking ideas. It's not that. It's taking inspiration, and you can come up with your own ideas for sure. But like, don't be like this guy where he full on just takes the ideas full on and does the exact same thing. Okay, but like again, this is something that has been done forever. I don't know if you guys are Star Wars fans, but for example, Star Wars. Creator, blended, multiple popular format. Like pretty much, even this guy who created Star Wars, like how they created Star Wars was the guy who created it took multiple viral, like famous kind of popular things and blended it together. So everything, even like the mobile phone, like people think it was somewhere in America they created it. No, like people in Russia were also creating that, and then all these different type of things. Like people think Steve Jobs created the first MacBook. No, it was also again made somewhere else. The telephone, Thomas Edison made it. Other people were developing it in Germany, I believe. So all these different type of things, there's always someone else who did it. There's really never any more originality. I'm not saying if you see a video like, for example, in rock climbing, I rock climbing every single day for a month, and this is what happened. Like if you're going to do the exact same thing, yeah, that's copying. But if you're going to take that inspiration and, for example, doing like I rock climbed for 30 minutes every single day, and this is what happened, that's a bit different, and you're still able to get away with it. So that's kind of what I would say. Yeah, absolutely. Don't like try to reinvent the wheel. It's always about really looking at what's worked, and you can easily just take viral ideas from other niches and applying them to yours. It's 2024. There's like millions of videos every single year. There's you'll definitely find something.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your time and insights with us today. We really appreciate it.